So this is the morning after my first night stay in Hotsprings. I planned 3 days off here just because of the city, of the town. Again, Hot Springs is one of the towns that was flooded by Helene, so a lot of businesses are closed, but a lot of the hiker businesses have worked hard to get open. Some still aren't open, or just like a few weeks, some days away from opening back up. Some are on limited schedule, but it's a hiker town because the trail goes right through the main drag of town, and every year they draw most of their income from hikers coming through, whether they're through hikers, section hikers, and whatnot. And so I plan to stay here just so I can give back to them and help them, support them, eat at their establishments, give them food, buy from them, whatnot. But the first night I stayed, just because of timing, I couldn't get 3 nights at one establishment, so I did stay at Elmer'S Sunnybank Inn. And that's where I am right now in this room, being quiet because it is morning. My checkout time is at 10 and it's 8:22. Most people are still sleeping, and it's full of hikers. But this inn is a historic inn that's on the registry of historic landmarks that are protected. That's why it will appear to be looking the way it is. It's been owned by Elmer since the 70s. I forget what year he bought it. He is a older man who bought this back in the 1970 or early 1970s, and he was also a thru hiker himself. And so he bought this to make it a hiker hostel of sorts, but it is also an inn that can be rented out. People do rent this for rooms because of its historical nature. And it's a pretty neat little time capsule. And you can see just by the room how it was kept and kind of, older period stuff. And the whole place is like this. It's really nice. They do open it up to hikers. They have a very, very low rate for hikers of $35. This room did have 2 people in it. I did have a person also in here in this bed, and I was in here. So if you're a single hiker, you might have a roommate, but it's nice because it's not bunk rooms. Because it's an older inn. Back then they had communal bathrooms. They didn't have bathrooms in every room. They had a bathroom on the floor. So that's the kind of establishment you're at. They do not do laundry on site for the hikers, but there is another house around the corner. It's someone who lets hikers come into the back of their house, and on the back enclosed porch area, they have a washer and dryer for $5. They will give you a Tide Pod, and you can walk just down the street a little bit and go back there and go in there and do your laundry. So, I buddied up with a guy that I came into town with. So for $5, we did our laundry together, and it saved us each $2.50 because we split the laundry. So you can get your laundry done. It is very cozy. I'm going to give you a little tour once I leave here, my room, and walk downstairs. I'll kind of give you a little tour, but it will be quiet. I'll briefly talk because, again, it's an old building, and you know how old buildings sound travels, and there's people still sleeping. But we will move on out. The room was cozy. It was nice. It was warm. There's space heaters. There's propane heaters downstairs, but it was nice and cozy. Slept well. Stormed last night. Didn't even wake up. But we'll go ahead and check out the rest of Elmer's Sunnybank Inn. So when you do arrive at the inn, if you have a reservation and you're coming in to check in, which check-in is at 12 o'clock, checkouts are at 10, but you will come to the back. It's a big building, and the front entrance and the side entrance is not used. You come to the back and you walk in the kitchen, and so you're back here on the back porch, and there's the door to come in. Hello, kitty. Hello. Are you nice? Can I come over and give you a boot? Can I give you a boot, little screech? All right. On the back porch, they do have a hiker box. They have a hiker box available. plant your shoes there, and you can come in with your gear. You can take your gear to your room, so but keep shoes out here. Everybody puts their trekking poles there. They do offer Wi-Fi as well, but you come into the kitchen area, and again, you will see some laundry machines in here, but again, they're for the hotel to use. Stoves and all that are off limits, but the coffee made, and there's microwave, and you can use the sink. But being quiet. There's a dining room back there. And then you have the one working showers down here, bottom floor. So they have one bath down here, shower for everybody to share. Kind of have the foyer. And here you just have a little sitting room, which I learned you find Elmer in here a lot. If you want to meet Elmer, talk to Elmer. In the foyer, there is books everywhere. So I can come through the front. I do not know where there are any lights in here, so I haven't been in here, but front of the house they do have this would be the side entrance if you're coming to the house. But in here they do have a music room with guitars, banjos, piano, music. So if you are musically inclined, you can sit in here with your friends or by yourself and play music in the music parlor, which I think is really cool. Then again, this would be the main entrance from the front, but you don't use that entrance. This is a spiral staircase going upstairs. One of two that goes upstairs. This would have been the main dining hall in the end. Thank you. Yeah. So I'm going to be really quiet up here because there's still people sleeping. There's another bathroom there, and then there's rooms there. There's a room there. And this is the library where we were checking it out last night. A lot of good books to read. We only had time to read them. There's that winding staircase we saw downstairs in the front of the house. And there's another room there. And then that was my room. And you can come out and hang out here on the balcony on the front of the house, which has trees, but you're looking right at the main drag of Hotsprings, where most of the things that you're going to use while you're here are there. The diner is right there, the Smoky Mountain Diner, Dollar General, the Hillbilly Store, which is a good resupply store, and then down the street over the bridge you got the Outfitter, But this is a cool little place. We hung out here last night for a while, just chatting, and had a good time. So as far as the inside, that's all I'm going to show, especially since it's morning and I got to finish packing up. But I'll try to get some shots of the outside of the building while it's raining. But I do have to pack up and walk in this rain to the next hostel that I'm staying at. So that's going to be fun. But anyway, I don't shoot any of that stuff from the outside. This was Elmer'S Sunnybank Inn, a hiker-friendly historic landmark owned by a previous thru-hiker from this area.